All right, so here we go with the final objective of our unit, which is objective 14, solving these equations involving percents. Now, it's pretty much the same as the previous objective, but now we're going to be adding a couple extra steps in sales tax and tips. So for sales tax and tips, the only difference here is we're going to be following the same process that we did in objective 13, but maybe we're going to have to do it once or twice more than we did in the past. So it's nothing really new in that sense, but we're just going to be doing the step again. So the procedure here, again, we're going to complete as usual. So the order that we're going to complete these is our increase or decrease first. So as we've learned in the past, we're going to do that first, then sales tax. So sales tax comes second, and then the tip is always third. So always follow this order here, increase or decrease first, then sales tax, and then the tip third. So in order to do this, remember, we multiply our original by the percent as a decimal. And then we add or subtract based on the problem. Now, a quick note here, for sales tax and the tip, always add. So the tax and the tip, always add. Right, and that should make sense. We don't want to take away the tip. We don't want to take away the tax. That is tacked on to the total. So let's take a look at this first one. To the nearest cent, what is $50 increased by 25% with a 10% sales tax? Now, if you were to just cover this part up, this is exactly what we've learned in Objective 13. So we know how to do that. So let's start by doing that. Of course, we start with our percent and we make it a decimal. So we move the decimal place 2 places to the left. So we have 50 times our percent as a decimal, so 0.25. Plug that into your calculator. So we have 50 times 0.25, and that gives us 12.5. So 12.5. And remember, that is the 25% of 50. So the 25% increase would be adding. So this tells us add that 12.5. And we get 62.5. And as a dollar, $62.50. Now, this is the increase. So now we have to calculate the sales tax. So the sales tax isn't all that different. We just take this number, and now this is our starting number, our 6250. So our 6250 is our starting number, and we multiply by the sales tax as a decimal. So the sales tax is 10%. As a decimal, we move the decimal place over, is 0.10. So we multiply by 0.10. So if you multiply that, we have 6250 times 0.10, and you have 6.25. So this is 6.25. And then again, sales tax, we always add. So we're going to add that. So we have 6250 plus our 6.25. Let's plug that in. So plus 6250. And that gives us our total of 68.75. So as a dollar, $68.75. That is our final answer. So this second bit here was calculating the sales tax. So see how we've broken this down. We've done the process twice. We've calculated the percent increase, and then we've calculated the increase by the tax. And then our total is that 68.75. Let's do one with the tip. So here, our restaurant bill is $120, and we want to decrease it by 40%. So again, 40% as a decimal, we move the decimal place over, and we have 0.40. So 120 times 0.40. Let's see what that is. 120 times 0.40. gives us 48. And then this is decreased by 40%, so we want to subtract that from our original 120. So minus our 48. So 120 minus 48, let's plug that in. 120 minus 48 is 72. So that's equal to 72. This is our percent decrease. So this is our decrease. Now we want to calculate the sales tax. So it's got an 8% sales tax. So we're going to take the number we ended up with, 72, and we're going to multiply it by our sales tax. Well, our sales tax is 8%. So as a decimal, let's move that decimal place over. And we have to use a 0 as a placeholder. So we have 0.08. Don't be confused. We move it twice. So it's not 0.8, it's 0.08. We got to move it 2 places. So 72 times 0.08. Let's calculate that. 72 times 0.08 gives us 5.76. So this is 5.76, and that is our sales tax. So that is increased. So we add that. So our 72 again, plus our 5.76 gives us, let's add that. You might be able to do this in your head as well. 77.76. $77.76. We're not done yet. We've just calculated the sales tax. We still have to look at the tip. So again, this middle chunk here is the tax. So now let's talk about the 15% tip. So the 15% tip as a decimal, we move it 2 places to the left, is 0.15. So we take the number we ended up with, 77.76, and we multiply it by this as a decimal, 0.15. So let's do that. We multiply that by 0.15, and we get 11.664. So 11.664. All right, so that is the 15% of this. So now the tip, we have to add it to the total here. 77.76 plus our tip, which is $11.66. So when we add that, so I'm adding that to the 77.76, we get a total of 89.424. Now, in dollars and cents, we're going to round. We have $89.42. And that is the total with the tax, with the tip, and with the 40% decrease. So again, this third chunk here, we just calculated the tip. The total is $89.42. All right. I'm not going to do questions 3 or 4. I'll leave those for you to do. If you have questions on those while you're doing it, you can ask in class. But otherwise, we're going to get a whole lot of practice on this. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.